What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and another week and another Hot 10 list. There's some really cool books I'm excited to show you guys on this list this week, but before we get started, like always, I want you to go ahead and click that subscribe button for me, guys, if you are not a current subscriber of the channel, because it really does help me out. And of course, I want you to smash that like button for me if you enjoy this video. But most of all, I want you to comment down below. Let me know what you think of this list, about some of the books on this list. Are they worth buying? Are they worth staying away from? Let me know down in the comments, because I'm always interested in to hear what you guys have to say in the community. But we're going to jump right in here at number 10 with a monster key. Werewolf by Night number 32, the first appearance of Moon Knight. Now, we saw this teaser trailer show up, I think about 2 weeks ago, and it was insanity. We didn't get too much of a glimpse, but we got a little bit. Either way, this book has been going nuts over the past year. A raw copy just sold last week for $5,100, and that has had to have been a really high grade key issue, because I just sold my Werewolf by Night CGC 8.0 white pager for about $3,700. So for $5,100, this has to be a 9.0 or above, and this book is just on fire right now. I know it's expensive, I know it's kind of gone crazy, but yes, I am still a buyer of this book. I believe once we get to see the full Moon Knight Disney Plus TV show, we're going to see a lot more sales in this book going forward. So yes, I'm a buyer, but I would honestly right now, I would kind of stay towards the little bit of lower grade under the 9.0. I know this is a Bronze Age book and it is a very expensive key. To me, I would probably stick anywhere from a 5.0 to about a 9.0 if you guys could afford it, but yes, I am still a buyer here at these prices. At number 9 this week is a copy of Iron Man 55, the first appearance of Thanos, the first appearance of Drax. But the reason why this book is spiking is because it is the first appearance of Eros, aka Star Fox, Thanos' brother. Anybody who hasn't seen the Eternals, spoiler, Eros appears in the post-credit scene, and I am not sure what Marvel is going to do with this character going forward. But either way, a CGC 9.2 recently sold this week for $2,900, and that's up 4% since October. To me, yes, I want to own this book, but there's no way in hell I'm spending up to $3,000 on a high-grade copy of it just for Star Fox. Again, like I said, guys, I'm not too sure what Marvel has for this character. Yes, I want to own this book. I have owned this book in the past, but I want to own it for Thanos, and I'm not spending $3,000 just for a copy of this book. Again, I'd like to own it, like I said, but not that much money, so I'm kind of staying away here at these prices. At number 8 this week is a book that has really been on fire. Amazing Spider-Man number 101, the first appearance of Morbius. Yes, we did get this Morbius trailer a few weeks back, and this book continues to go higher. A CGC 2.0 recently sold this week for $400, and that's up 33% since last week. Yes, a 2.0 copy, a beat up 2.0 is scorching up the list. Now, I personally own 2 copies of this book, and yes, I am always a buyer. However, I'm not going to spend $400 on a 2.0. I am going to buy it, but I want to buy a 4.5 or higher, so keep that in mind, guys. Again, I believe this is another Bronze Age book. I want to go ahead and pick up a higher grade copy of this book, so go ahead and pony up the money. Morbius isn't going anywhere. They're going to do a sequel. He's going to meet Spider-Man at another point in time. So yes, I am always a buyer of this book. At number 7 this week is a copy of excuse me, Amazing Spider-Man number 12, the third appearance of Dr. Octopus. With the first appearance absolutely unaffordable to most people out there, and the second appearance absolutely going higher and higher, people are now turning to the third appearance. And I gotta be honest, this is probably my favorite cover of the 3. CGC 5.5 recently sold last week for $905, and that's up 29% since September. I know I told you guys in the past that I don't always buy second or third appearance books, but because this is a Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man key, yes, I am a buyer. However, I'm not going to spend $900 on a 5.5 issue. If I can get a 2.5 to 3.0, that to me seems to be the sweet spot. That's where I'd be buying, but yes, I want to own this book and add it to my collection. At number 6 this week is a copy of Daredevil number 131, the first appearance of Bullseye. Now, with Daredevil rumored to be showing up in the Spider-Man No Way Home movie, I am betting on all Daredevil keys right now if you can find them. Again, a CGC 5.0 recently sold this book last week for $300, and that's up a whopping 71% since April. Yes, I am a buyer of this book. Yes, I'm a buyer of all things Daredevil keys right now. And again, a nice, beautiful yellow cover book. I used to own this book. I'm pissed off at myself. I had it in a high grade copy and I sold it about a year ago. I wish I still had it because I do believe once Daredevil shows up in the MCU, and I do eventually think he's not going to get his own movie, it'll be a Disney Plus series. We're going to see Bullseye show up sooner rather than later. So yes, I am a buyer of this book if you guys can snatch it. At number 5 is another Daredevil book, Daredevil number 16. This is actually not a huge key issue, but it is the first John Romita Sr. artwork of SpiderMan, which is a big deal in itself. Yes, I own this book. Yes, I have a raw copy. However, a CGC 8.0 recently sold last week for $1,100, and that's up 38% since September. Like I said, guys, I do own this book, and I probably paid about $100 for it about a couple years ago. So I'm not spending $1,100 on a CGC 8.0 graded issue. Yes, I want to own it, but if you can get a nice raw copy, a mid-grade copy, yes, I want to add it to the collection, but not for $1,100. I'm going to use $1,100 on getting a bigger Daredevil key if I could, or even another key in another comic book. I'm not going to spend $1,100 just on the first John Romita artwork, although I think it's awesome, and John Romita is my favorite Spider-Man artist. With that said, we're going to jump right in here at number 4. At number 4 is Silver Surfer number 4, this awesome John Buscema cover. One of my favorite classic covers of all time. I really hope that when they bring Silver Surfer to the MCU, that they kind of recreate this cover with Thor, because I actually would love to see it on screen. Either way, CGC 1.0 recently sold for $275, and that's up a whopping incredible 571% since 2009. Now, I know it's been 11 years since a 1.0 recorded sale. Either way, that is quite a jump from the last sale, almost 600%. Yes, I always want to own this book in any grade I can find it, as long as it's complete and there's no rest go. I don't care if it's a 1.0 or not. My stepson had picked up a low grade copy at our local LCS, Gotham Underground, a while back. And it's always worth adding this key, even if it's in low grade. Just don't make sure you guys overpay for it, that's all. But yes, I definitely want to own it. At number 3 this week is a book that is getting really, really hot. It is a copy of Thor number 134, the first appearance of the High Evolutionary. Now, the rumors are that he is going to have a major role in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Again, these are just rumors, so I don't have any concrete facts. But this book has really started to take off. A CGC 5.5 recently sold this week for $550, up 38% since September. This is a book I really do want to speculate on and buy it, because the High Evolutionary is a major Marvel character in the comics. So yes, I want to own it, but I'm almost afraid that if he just ends up having a small role, we'll kind of see this book kind of get a beating out of it. So to me, $550 seems like a lot of money to spend right now here in this book, but if you can get a lower grade under fair market value, then yes, I want to own it, add it to collection, and you never know. We'll see. Hopefully he has a bigger role in the actual MCU as opposed to the comics. But this is a book that is, like I said, is really hot, so if you're going to pick up a copy, do it quick. At number 2 this week is a copy of Fantastic Four Annual number 1, the first appearance of Krang, and the origin of the Fantastic Four retold. Now, this book was on the list last week, and I said that I probably would stay away from it here at these prices, and I'm probably going to say the same thing again. A CGC 4.5 recently sold this week for $650, up 12% since October. To me, again, it seems like a lot of money for a 4.5 grade on an annual number 1 right now, with not a major first appearance in it. Yes, it's the origin retold. Yes, the first appearance of Krang, but that is a lot of money. I'd rather put that money on a bigger key, in my opinion, or another different Fantastic Four key, because I do think those will appreciate higher than this one will, guys. That's just my opinion. If you own this book, I've had many people message me over the last week's video saying they own this book and they sent it to CGC. That's great. I'm not poo-pooing on this book. I'm just saying I'd rather put my money elsewhere right now. I may be proven wrong. We'll see. At the top spot this week, guys, is a book I'm actually shocked is on this list. It is a copy of Avengers number 62, the first appearance of M'Baku. Now, there's been speculation recently that Shuri is not going to be the new Black Panther, that it was going to go to M'Baku. I have no idea who's going to be the next Black Panther. Either way, I could pretty much say it is not going to get the value that the first appearance of T'Challa as a Black Panther was going to get. Either way, A CGC 6.5 recently sold last week for $329, up 111% since May of this year. To me, that seems like quite a bit of money to pay on what may or may not happen for this book. Either way, if M'Baku does become the new Black Panther, how long is it before Shuri becomes the next Black Panther? I do believe that's the route they're going to go. That's just my opinion. I do think she is a logical choice to get it down the line. It may be M'Baku first, I have no idea, but either way, she will end up with it, and she will be the new Black Panther going forward in the MCU at some point. So you may get a nice spike right now, but then a dip later on. So you really have to be careful if you are picking up this book. This is a thumbs down for me though. I'm just going to stay away. I'd rather own Fantastic Four number 52, the first appearance of T'Challa as the Black Panther. I'd rather own that and keep that in my collection for years and years to come. So that's it for the list this week, guys. You let me know down in the comments what you think of these books. Do you own any? Do you want to go out and buy any of these books, or do you want to stay away from them right here, right now? Let me know down in the comments. That's it. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I'll talk to you guys soon.